Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Hello to all of you tonight. It is another terrific Tuesday. Y'all know I always say it. It's another terrific Tuesday here at Women Around the Table Talk Show. And I am your host, Miss Kiki White. It is me all day, every day, baby. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed your evenings thus far. So, I am really excited to close out tonight with this particular guest that I have coming in that's going to accompany us. I'm not going to waste any more time. That Because the hour is already going. We got a lot to just dive into tonight. I'm excited about tonight. Um, this is a public figure. He is a young man. Excuse me, I'm just so excited, y'all. Okay, so let me calm down a minute. But anyway, thank you guys for joining us, first of all. So we're going to close out the month of May. And of course, our focus and our theme has been, excuse me, is the seat taken? So joining us is a public figure. He has studied at TCU, the Texas Christian University. He graduated from South Oak Cliff High School. He is the founder and director and CEO at LED. I'm trying to do this by memory. 360 Sports and Academy. He's a community project developer, a nonprofit business consultant. He's an NFL alumni. He's a retired Atlanta Falcon football player. This former Atlanta Falcon, he just weeks ago he became the first minority to receive the seven workforce development programs that are approved by the Department of Labor as a national registered training program. So he can basically turn your business into a school. There's so much more that I can say about this particular man. I'm so proud of him. Let's not waste no more time. Let me introduce to you none other than Mr. LaTerrence Dunbar Bay. Can we welcome hello to you, young man.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you for that introduction. I think I'm gonna have you when I get my Oscar.
See? I listen. I tried to do as much. I mean, I'm just going back in my mind trying to get as much as I could get from memory. But it's so much about you. It's just so many accolades, so many stars, so many accomplishments. Man,
Mm,
I could go on and on and on about it. You
wow.
are the man with the plan. So for the month of May, I've been bringing in a lot of men who have a lot of things going for themselves.
Okay.
And most of them have been entrepreneurs. And
Okay.
I'm a successful man.
Right.
And I wanted to close this out with you because I realized I know that you're a busy guy. You just came off the television show, Put a Ring on It,
Okay.
and you have a young lady in your life.
Yes, I
And
do.
yes, and she's such a beautiful piece of jewel. She is. You did good.
Oh, well, I think she did good. I think she chose me. I was so nervous when I first met her, and so yes, I love life is something to talk about. Yeah, it's been about 9 months since we filmed the show, Put a Ring on It, and so we've been going strong for about 2 years. So thank you but again,
See,
thank you for this introduction. Thank you for having me on, and I'm so proud of you as well. Uh,
thank
you know,
you.
being from the same neck of the woods, Oak Cliff.
Hmm.
And so, yes, I'm definitely excited to talk to you today and just
Good.
pull up to the table with you.
Okay. Well, of course, I will let you have this seat. I have
Okay.
a lot that I want to. Oh my gosh. Um, if we are able to bring your fiance
Yes.
in,
Okay.
we're definitely going to get her in. If she's not
Yes.
able to make it, I definitely want our audience to get just a little bit of background about you guys,
Okay.
how y'all met or whatever. And
Okay.
then and we can do that later on, but I just want you to um tell the viewers, what project are you doing? What are you doing right now? I know you got
Wow.
a lot going
Wow.
on because you just okay. So everyone to everyone who just tuned in, Mr. Dunbar, he just completed on Friday. There was a network event. It was
Yes.
entitled AI and Metaverse with Dr. Was it Dr.
Dr. Messina Morris. Yeah, Dr.
Okay,
Morris.
Dr. Morris, and that was a success. It was
Yes, it
beautiful.
was.
You should have been there. But it was hosted in Atlanta, Georgia, right?
Yes, it was.
Can
Yes.
you give us a little bit of feedback regarding?
So first, let me introduce Dr. Morris. Dr. Morris was the first person to ever get the metaverse as a curriculum approved
Uh huh.
at Morehouse at a HBCU, and so she's the innovator of what we call the VR devices.
Uh
And
huh.
me and I don't know if you're familiar with the metaverse. For those who are not familiar with the metaverse is that space that you see a lot of people call it the RoboCop space, or that space where it allows for you to have a digital device. So right now we're in the metaverse, all right.
Okay.
And so what I focused on was AR, stands for augmented reality,
Uh huh.
and we're merging that now with AI. So a lot of people are hearing about the technology of AI and how it's changed and how it actually makes you smarter. So in
Wow.
2017, I was the first person to ever bring AR to my community. I
Mm-hmm.
had a partnership as a developer with Microsoft, and and now I'm able to now merge AR technology, which doesn't put you in uh, a virtual space that allows for you to still be in the real world environment. And then
Uh huh.
I'm matching it with AI technology. It's over 300 apps that I use with AI, and now we're actually tackling workforce development. We're now allowing for our black and brown people, our black and brown communities, to get this technology as a
Mm-hmm.
way for us to now get higher wages and be
Okay.
more in high demand. And so it's over 2,000 different industries that this technology works for. And like you said, I was the first person, and I'm the only minority to actually get 7 of these programs approved as a paid trade program where individuals can now
Wow.
actually earn while they learn. So that's what we do. And last weekend we were just had a little networking event where we was actually talking about all of the different technology, how to
Mm-hmm.
use the technology. We had special guests in, and we was kind of giving Dr. Morris her flower for being the first minority woman to get this approved. And
Wow.
statistics show
Okay.
that this metaverse technology is a $38 trillion industry by 2025. And so
Ooh.
this is an opportunity for us to learn something that's new, learn something that's interesting, but also as Black and Brown communities, this is the first time we can actually be able to compete at a higher level when it comes to these jobs are opening up and opportunities that we're long due for.
Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, that's big. That's going to be big.
That's going to be big, yeah. And
Definitely going to be big.
so right now we secured about 12 million in funding. We're
Uh huh.
able to put about 5 to 10,000 young people into a real life training pilot. Of course, I'm starting with Texas. We're in Georgia. We're in Florida. Where I just moved to Las Vegas to get started. We're in New York, Chicago. We're also in
Wow.
LA. So it's about 15 cities that will be introducing this program within the next couple of weeks. Our goal is Juneteenth holiday.
Okay. So when you mean young people, you mean, young people like myself, or
Yeah,
which
yeah,
age
yes,
group
ma'am.
are you referring to?
Well, anybody that's interested, first of all, if you're not familiar with AI or mixed reality or even the term metaverse,
Uh-huh.
I think it's time for us to now, bring this information to you. So yeah, you can qualify. You do qualify if you want to, or if you're interested. But we're really focusing because of the summertime. We know the month of May through August is always the most deadliest month for our young people of color. And so we
Yeah.
definitely want to attack that 17 to 27-year-old age group so we can provide them a different option. Give them
Okay.
technology, show them how to actually pay for a mentor, and teach them how
Okay.
to ask the right questions now that we finally have access to the right resources.
Oh, okay. That's gonna
So
be
it's a whole
awesome.
movement.
Oh, my
BYOB,
word.
we're finna build our own block. We're finna build our own communities. We're finna go back and now I believe we finally have a little leverage where we can now have access to these resources so we can be self sufficient.
That is awesome. Wow. Okay, so first of all, how do I need to address you tonight? Do I need to just say Laterras? Do I need to say Delboy? What are we calling you out here?
Oh, it don't matter. Just as long as you call me. But Dunbar is fine. I think I
Good
made that
boy.
name
Okay.
famous, Dunbar. So Dunbar is perfectly fine with me.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. As I mentioned, now you are a retired Atlanta Falcon football player as well.
Correct?
And is there any foundation that you've placed up under that particular segment? That any projects that you're developing up under that particular format where with the football, is that where the Sports and Academy
Yes,
came in
yes.
with the
So
with
LED, that's actually my
yeah.
initials.
Okay.
LED. When you think about LED, to me, it says bring light. People know about the
That's
illumination,
right.
bring lighting to a situation. 360 is a total circle. What happens if I did make it to the NFL? What happens if I wouldn't have went to college? What would I be doing? And I think with this complete circle and bringing light to the situation, I'm talking about owning, teaching young student athletes how to own their name, likeness, and images. We're teaching student
Mm-hmm.
athletes how to be a community project developers. That's somebody who is the middle person between the community and the government and the city councilman. And so I'm focusing on education. I believe that every young person under the age of 12 or under the age of 17, excuse me, should have a nonprofit. I believe that they should own two businesses, a for-profit and a product, a for-profit service, because statistics show and history shows and numbers show that if you have a nonprofit for 5 to 10 years, that you go to college debt free. And I think it's time that I now merge sports with community development, with band, with cheer, with ROTC.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
think if we all band together and go back to when we were kids, what did we wish we had when we were kids? Now we can now have a better opportunity to go back and talk to our community and say, hey, we have the technology, we have the entrepreneurship spirit. Now let's
Wow.
provide with the resources. So I consider my program a work college where you earn while you learn. It's only 9 work colleges in the world, I believe. I think it's between 9 and 10. Paul
Uh-huh.
Quinn is actually one, but I plan on being on that list as the first ever work
Paul
college
Quinn?
in the metaverse that adds sports, philanthropy, and workforce development.
Oh wow. Okay. To
Yeah.
9 to 10. I'm trying to keep up and write all
Oh, okay.
write all of this down. I told y'all it's so much, y'all. It's
Yeah.
just so much, and I'm just so proud of you.
Thank you.
Um, and I know that okay, so with that being said, you did say you're gonna start in Texas. So you coming back home.
Yeah, yeah, we'll be home. Oak Cliff, Texas. Here we come. Dallas, Fort Worth. My heart from Dallas, from Oak Cliff to Plano, all the way to Fort Worth. That's where I kind of earn my stripes. And so, yeah, we're working with local community project developers there. We're working with local police department. We're working with local business owners. But more importantly, we're working with the youth. We're trying to
Okay.
find those youth in those high crime areas, those youth in those situations where they just need a chance. They just really need the resources. And
A
so June
turnaround.
19th, we'll be doing a big conference there, and we'll be talking about workforce development. And I want to say thank you to the local workforce there in Dallas and Fort Worth that's providing this grant and this funding for these young people. So I definitely want to say thank you. And if you are a business and you are and you want some labor or you want an opportunity to train and mold your next best manager, we're talking about anything from Airbnb. We're talking about
Yeah.
starting your own bank. We're talking about starting your own app. We're talking about how you can be a remote assistant. Just imagine that you now, Sister White, you can travel and have some of the smartest people in the world as your assistants, and you can log in with technology and you can see them every day without picking up a phone. It's funny. I haven't did
Oh
a home phone. I haven't
boy.
did a phone interview in so long. But yeah, and I do have, and I'll give you a demo of the technology as well.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's awesome sauce. Okay, I got that. Okay, wait a minute. So you say June 19th. But before June 19th, you're on tour. You're on
Yes.
tour for the Raising the Kings,
Yeah. Yes.
right?
Raising the King. Yes. June the 17th, I'll actually be in Atlanta talking to and networking and hosting an event for the Atlanta, not the Atlanta, the Gwinnett County School Board. They're up for re-election, so I have an opportunity to host an event, and I'll be able to talk about technology. I'll be able to talk about funding. I'll be talking about opportunities we have now because Gwinnett County, they're the 11th largest school district, I believe, and they
Mm-hmm.
have over 177,000 students. And it's to a situation now where we have to provide them with some type of resources. So I'll be hosting that event.
What?
I'll also be bringing in some doctors, some friend of mine who focus on mental health. We're talking about focusing on education. We're talking about focusing on workforce development. But worst case worst, we'll be just talking to men, saying it's okay to be a man. It's okay to be. It's okay to be. Let your guard down for a second. It's okay for you to
Okay.
cry. It's okay for you to ask for help. As a
Yeah.
retired NFL player, we never let our guards down. And so I think with this conference, we're able to at least provide men with some resources. We know you women are killing it. We know you
Yeah,
women are doing your thing. Yeah, 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 yeah.
we lead ladies around here, honey.
Well, yeah. Well, it's time. It's time for our women to be recognized. But this one for my women, this will be for the men. If you know
Okay.
any young boy, if you know anybody that's 17 and up that's really going through something, I
Mm-hmm.
think it's time for us to merge that gap when it comes to the black and brown community. We know
Mm-hmm.
what the problem is and we know what the solution is. And that's us pulling each other up by the bootstrap and providing us with the right resources and us showing love and actually getting
Wow.
out there and doing something together for the first time
Praise your
as a
name.
collective.
You know what? And I don't think that I really hear any besides church events.
Uh,
Maybe once a year for a men's group, but that's like of an older age group for
yeah,
men. So for you to come up with this particular out idea to reach out to our young men, really to just give them a turnaround,
yeah,
basically. Because they really just need something to do. When it all boils down to it, they need something to do. And if they have something to do that they see that they're actually successful with,
right.
or and that they're learning, then why not be an impact? Why not be a positive impact? Especially that as an upcoming black
Yes,
male or a Latino male or Puerto Rican, whatever, for our community, as
correct.
you stated before, that we're giving them a chance.
Right.
You can't, so that we don't have the same story as them, but no one can say that, hey, we didn't give them a chance, because we're giving them a chance. So if we want to follow you, if we want more information, where do the viewers go? Because I know that they're going to want to know how do they follow you and follow the dates and get all of this information that's going on.
Well, the easiest way is how we communicate now, and that's through social media. You can
Okay.
find me on IG or Instagram at Dunbar, DunbarBey. Again, at Dunbar Bay with the BEY. My LinkedIn, I share a lot of information. That's my full name,
Okay.
LaterrenceDunbar.com. But
Uh-huh.
I want to also stress that this conference is going to be different. I'm going to hold our brothers accountable. I know that we need the resources, but I'm talking about when do you step up as a man when you know your friend is cheating on his wife? When do you step up?
Oh,
Yeah, when do you step up as a man when you know
I
that
love it.
when your friend or one of your friends is beating on his sister or beating on his woman? I think when do you step up as a man when you got a friend that's selling drugs, but you know it's the wrong thing? And I don't. And as a football player, I believe that if you know something and you're not addressing it within, then you can't blame anybody. Let's stop playing the blame game. If we worry about ourselves and we hold ourselves accountable as men, then we can now take control of our communities. I'm not going to ever, from this point forward, put a blame on a black or white or Democrat or Republican. It's you taking accountability for yourself. So I'm challenging the men. We know about the race wars. We know about all of the Willie Lynch. I'm talking about holding yourself accountable. What about your character? What about you being able to be submissive to God and saying, God, I'm going to live right for you? How are you going to be the head of the household? Because it's not the time for us to continue to put the blame game. Blame yourself. Hold
Mm-hmm.
yourself accountable. And I don't have any friends that beat women. I don't have any friends that sells drugs. I don't. I'm too old for that. I don't listen to the same type of music that
Well,
I
for
used to listen to 20 years ago. And I think that's what this
hmm
conference is about: showing our young people that it's okay to do the right thing. It's okay to
that's
have good
right.
character. It's okay to make the right decisions. And I think that's what this conference is going to be about. So if that's not what you're about, don't show up to my conference, because if you know me, you know me.
Well, for those that don't know you and will accept the challenge, I would encourage my brothers and you know and sisters, tell your husbands and cousins and brothers and uncles and all of them that
Right.
there is a conference that they need to attend. It is
Yeah.
very imperative that if there's a positive change, that they go see it, they go tune in. What location is the Rising Kings conference going to be in?
The good thing about it is through the metaverse. So I do have several locations, but if you can't make it, we're
Okay.
going to be able to go live. We're going to actually put you in the room. So it's going to be uh, hologram. You're going to get some. You're going to have an opportunity to see some different things that you
Wow.
never saw coming from the black and brown community. So we'll be posting it live. You can be able to go in live, but we'll have some real doctors, some real mental health specialists, because I think it's a mental problem if we don't realize that we need to change. If you don't believe you need to change, you keep doing same thing over and over. I think it's time to bring in some real specialists to teach us how to communicate, teach us how to express ourselves. And so, to answer your question again, it will be in the metaverse, or it's going to be live. We'll be posting the links. And if you have any questions about how to join or be a guest speaker or be involved, then you can definitely follow me on my social media as well.
Now I'm not going to leave you alone. You know that, right?
No problem. Thank you.
Cause I just because you got you because you have so much coming up,
Yeah,
and I don't want the brothers to fall asleep. You
yeah.
understand? And that's the reason why I wanted the men to come in this month and
Okay.
welcome the men to the show, because I know that we, us women, we have our women's empowerment, we have our women's, we walking together movements. We're always, there's always some type of conference or some type of segment that's going on in the female industry. You
Correct.
understand? So we're always lifting one another up. And for you to be so ambitious and so driven behind your belief regarding the younger generation and even the upcoming and aged men, that says a lot. And they need that. Somebody needs to say something.
Correct.
And the fact that it's coming from a positive background. Now I'm told that you're a minister now. Am I
Huh.
right? Is that right?
Yes, that's what I'm currently doing. I've
Okay.
been in, I've been going through ministry courses and classes so for about 9 months, and so yes, once I graduate, I definitely going to be hitting the streets and bringing church into the streets. We need to now encourage our brothers to get back into the house of the Lord. If you don't believe right now, then you're up under a rock, and I think it's time for men.
Hmm.
Straight men, strong men, leaders that can be able to come out and say,
Great man.
hey, it's okay. It's okay. So I encourage all my ministers. I thank you to all of my brothers out there fighting the fight.
Yes.
And I want to say thank you to our ladies. But I want to say this, Sister White.
Go
Don't
ahead.
don't 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 fall second fiddle because you ladies are coming together. All right.
Okay.
Don't feel like you have to downgrade yourself to match the energy of somebody who can't match your energy. All right. It's time for men to step up. It's no
That's
longer.
right.
It's no. So if you ladies are producing, you ladies are buying, don't stop. Keep it going. Keep it going. We need that energy. But I'm saying, men, no more excuses. All right, we
No
know,
more
we know it.
excuses.
We have to match the energy of our sisters, or you'll be replaced.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. We are halfway into the show. There's
Okay.
not going to be any commercials. We're going to keep this thing going.
Okay.
That's next month.
Uh-huh.
But I want to open the lines. I'm going to go ahead and open the lines, and we're going to keep it there.
Okay.
I'm going to open the lines up for questions, comments, or what have you. Viewers, you can call 832 if you want to call into the studio and ask Mr. Dunbar any questions
Mm.
regarding that particular information. If you are just now tuning in and you didn't get his Instagram ID, it is Dunbar Bay. Dunbarbey. That's Dunbar Bay. Go to Instagram and follow him there. All of this information, everything that he's talking about, oh my gosh, it is there. And follow him. Everybody, that's go ahead and go follow him, y'all. Just Dunbar
Yeah.
Bay. Go ahead. That's the nugget that you're gonna get tonight. Follow him,
Yeah.
and we're gonna receive all of this information. I'm gonna be following you because I'm definitely going to be announcing
Okay.
what you have going on, because I do not want anyone to forget. Anytime anybody comes to the show, it's all about helping people.
Yes. Yes.
whether male or female.
Correct.
Even though, excuse me, is this seat taken is pretty much a focal point because we want to know how our brothers are viewing the women of this age. We want to know, what are you guys thinking? What
Hmm.
is it that, is what is, how are you all driven to us? How are you all attracted to us, whether it's the
Wow.
makeup, our relationship with the Lord, if it's physical attributes, we want to know. And that's the reason why I opened it up. And so
Wow.
having you here today is such a pleasure. And to know everything that you have going forth, it definitely pushes the agenda that I had for
Wow.
this particular month. And I just really, really, really appreciate it. So I think my viewers got some homework. They
Wow.
have some homework. You understand?
Okay.
So their sons needs a mentor. Their brothers, their little brothers need a mentor. So if they don't know what it is that's needed in order to carry a relationship or even a relationship with God, we need to know this information. If
Yes.
we're not going to go to church, and
Right.
most churches have closed down because
Yeah.
of because
Okay.
of the coronavirus a couple of years ago or what have you. We've lost contact with, especially social contact,
Yeah.
and now it's just the virtual world. And
Yes.
I know it's a phone interview, but I like it because I would have come up there with you, but
Mm.
I can't leave my people.
Yeah.
Just
Yes.
anyway, but anyway, um, I'm just saying that the whole point of this is just for men's mental health,
Yeah.
basically. It's
Yes.
just
Yeah.
for the health of our men. And for you to have the community leadership and you have all of these entities that are financially supporting you, I'm like, give them some advice. Give
Yeah.
give our women some advice. Women, tell us, because we need to know what you're looking for. Because if you're successful, and we always desire a successful man, then I'm sure there's something that we need to do to position ourselves not only to have a successful relationship with the Lord, because the Word of God says that He has a plan for us, and it is to
Yes.
bring us success and not to harm us. So
Right.
we need to know what that plan is. You
Right.
understand? And
Yes.
if we can have people that are joined together, not only by love and color, but by
Yes.
spirit,
Yes.
if we can join together that way, then I think that there will be a greater move and we can get a greater message across the planet.
Of course. Of
And
course.
especially if it starts in our community, because it's all about word of mouth, if you agree.
Yes, it
And
is.
how your success began, I don't even know how I remember you playing football.
Ha. Yeah.
If that was the avenue, or was that the avenue?
Well, I think it started when I want to say it was 95 when we first, 94 when I got to Sapelo Cliff, but around 95, 96, me and my group of friends, we just decided to be different. We knew that we came from a situation where everybody was going to be telling us what we couldn't do, what we
Hmm.
wasn't available, and we just made a decision then to make sure that we were still going to be great men, great fathers, just great leaders. We allow sports to give us an avenue to be vocal, but we allowed our actions to, for allow I mean for a while we allowed our actions for a way for us to be visible. And I want to say it started there. I think that's when I got thick skin, when I was going
Uh-huh.
through the ranking, and I realized that, hey, what is my legacy going to be? All right. And when you made a comment, you said what when women can do, just be a little bit more patient. When I say patient, a lot of times men don't know how to express themselves, right? Because we
Oh,
weren't taught. But also, just do the little things that count. Me and Chance, we talk about this all the time. Um, when I met her, I wasn't looking for a business partner. I wasn't looking for America's Next Top Model. I was looking for a wife. I was looking for somebody I can open up to. I was looking for somebody who was not going to judge me. When we first moved to Atlanta and we had an opportunity to do that show about 9 months ago, I
yeah.
was exposed. I was vulnerable. I was hurting. People didn't realize I had just lost my father, my stepfather. I was going through a lot of things that it was bottled up, and I didn't know how to express myself. And I was mad. I was a mad, angry black man. I'm telling you, I was mad at my
Yeah.
peoples. And
Yeah.
in my industry, I'm being honest with you. In my industry, when I hear the stories of so many women been abused, when I was going into the jail systems and saw that so many young brothers was getting bullied with pastries, and it made me mad. It made me feel like I could conquer the world. And
Hmm.
so being vulnerable for the first time in my life and just crying on TV, I was like, what the hell? It put me into the situation where I had an opportunity to go get the right help. I
Hmm.
didn't know that I had something going on, even though it wasn't a mental problem, it was
Hmm.
emotional. Sometimes we might misdiagnose something, but I was emotionally messed up. I didn't know how to
Yeah.
love. I didn't know who to love. I didn't want anybody to come into my house. I didn't want anybody about my family. And but what my wife did, what Chance did, was she stayed there and she let me grow. She
Wow.
stood up for me. She made sure that I had the things I needed while I was transforming. Just
Uh,
imagine you playing sports your whole life, and
I
when you
heard
get
that.
to the NFL, and you at the top of the pinnacle where you think you're finna save the world and save your family, and then you get cut, and you get released because of injuries. We don't talk about what to do next. And so,
Right. Right.
for women, we're simple. We're simple. Let us be heard. Let us communicate. Understand our love language. I understand beauty's important. I understand the makeup and hair is important, but a lot of times it's important for the woman, not for the man. The man
Hmm.
really wants to be able to come home to a nice, clean environment. That can
Yeah.
be mentally, that can be physically, that can be emotionally, but just support him. But don't take up for no sucker. If you the first time you're around some sucker noise or some sucker business, get up and get out. You know, and so that's what I love about the relationship I have. We don't
Hmm.
we don't hold anything against. I mean, from each other. If I
Okay.
can't communicate with her,
Uh-huh.
she'll pull me to the side. If she feels like
Wow.
somebody's attacking me, she's gonna jump out there. I feel like somebody's attacking her, I'm gonna jump out there. But now that it's 2023, I believe that we have to now learn how to love and be able to show that what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong, and let's
Yep.
stop
That's it.
accepting, second fiddle.
That is so true. Women, for those of you who are just now tuning in,
Right.
Chance is Chance is Mr. Dunbar's leading lady, honey.
Yeah, yeah,
And I wish she was here, y'all. Oh, she is such
yes,
a pretty little thing. Anyway, she has a sweet spirit from the studies that I've learned about her. um I don't know how y'all met, but she's a
yeah.
beautiful jewel, people. And I think it's at, if you want to find out who they are or what they're about, I think you're on Instagram. Dunbar Loves Chance. Is
Yeah,
that
we're on Instagram. Yeah, she has her
is
own. Yeah, we have an Instagram together. She does a lot of the social media, but her IG is I am Chance. She's also a writer. You got to hear her story. She lost her mom at age 8, I believe. Her mom was in a coma from 8 till she was 16. She was in a relationship with a guy, and it didn't work out, and she wound up finding herself homeless. Uh,
wow.
and so the strong sister, she's done TED talks. We do the Rebuild Her conference. We've hosted over 500 ladies at our conferences. We
Wow.
host a No Excuse conference.
Hmm.
She's a phenomenal human being. She's not, and she'll tell you every day, I'm not perfect, but she's
Uh-huh.
loyal. And so yeah,
Okay.
definitely follow her, and she'll be on the next show. She had to fly to
She
Chicago
sure
and
will.
surprise her dad, but
Oh.
she's my rock.
That's all right. Come on, Rock now. Okay, yeah, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to get her on the show. I want to hear
Yeah,
this story. Um, and I'm pretty sure she has a lot. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she has a lot to share with our
yeah,
women. And
yeah,
how she met you. I would
yeah.
love to hear that story. Was there something special she did, or how she got your attention? Of
Yeah.
course, I want to know. But
Right.
anyway, that's neither here nor there. I just want you to let her know
Okay.
she gonna
Bet.
have to come by herself because I'm sure
Yeah.
you got a lot you have to do in the
Yes.
upcoming months of June and July and August. That's all booked. You
Yes.
will be
Yes. Yes.
busy.
Yeah.
And I remember talking with you, if I could piggyback off of a conversation that we had
Mm.
prior, and I believe that you were talking about our men,
Yeah.
and you were
A
saying
team.
how most men um, are abusing the women and the way that they are treating the women, and you want it to be give examples of it. Don't take all of that. Basically, it doesn't, you don't have to treat these women this way. And I think that someone needs to give them a different window of how to
Mm,
treat us, because as emotional at
yes.
creatures as we are very emotional.
Mm,
So let's put that out there. We're
right.
very emotional, and if we come hard at you and we're trying to act all rough and tough, but behind that wall that we tend to build as women, we're really soft tissue like Charmin, you
Mm,
know? And all we really need is for basically a man to listen to
okay.
us.
Okay.
And but for those of us that find ourselves in an abusive relationship,
Mm,
verbally,
yes.
I witnessed mental
Yes.
abuse
Yeah.
and physical.
Yes.
If you don't have friends like that, what made you? Did you just cut them off? What was it? The
Well,
treatment to the woman? Now that I think about it, yeah, was it the treatment to the woman that made you kind of discard? Did you tell them, give them their rights before you let that particular guy go or not be in your circle?
well, I think it was just the opposite. I don't judge our brothers. I don't judge our sisters.
Okay.
When I said I no longer hang around those people
Uh
with the
huh.
right counseling and with the right circle, you can transform anybody's mindset. But just like
Wow.
anything else, it first comes off as verbal. That's the first sign. Verbal is because of some type of communication gap. Either you are cannot communicating correctly with him, or he is not communicating with you. All right. We all know we all know the consequences of putting our hands on each other.
That's
It's
true.
not right either way, but it first come off as verbal. A lot of times we don't talk about it, but most verbal conflicts come because of money. Let's be real. If the man was making the type of money that he knew how to make, and he was providing what he could make, a lot of the things that's happening in our communities wouldn't happen. And so, what my conference does is teach the man how to go get that bag. All right, I
Okay.
don't care what
Okay.
it is. If a man is not making money and he doesn't feel like he can support you, then he's going to turn to some type of mental deficiency. Then the next thing is emotionally. All right, I don't know about you, but my family, we was a tight knit family. But the men in my family, we didn't show any emotions.
So
we didn't
y'all
run
didn't
from
cry.
it. No, we didn't cry. I tell people every day, I didn't have nobody to run to. I'm not, we're gonna stand there and fight. But is that always the right way? Is that always the right way? So when it comes to emotional, how can we now work on that same spirit that we had when we were dating? And then also
Right.
that middle person. We always got to have that middle person. I heard on the
Mm.
show somebody was talking about their relationship with you. It's three people in a relationship. You, her, and no, it's God first. You seek God first. And when you feel like you're about to do something that's not right, you go into a room by yourself, you pray about it, and you ask for guidance. That's what we have to do. And then when it comes to the physical, let's be real. To my brothers out there, I treat my sisters, I treat my women like I want somebody to treat my daughter, like I want somebody to treat my sister, like I want somebody to treat my mom. And so all of my friends, all the people that was going through that situation, we have real conversations. Just like we can talk about the new Jordans or the new video game that's coming out, we have
Right.
conversations about what will you do if, who will you call if, how would you handle if this situation was to happen? And
Love
I
it.
learned this from playing sports. We used to watch film. We used to walk through and watch ourselves on camera. And until we start watching ourselves and understanding the situation and putting ourselves in any situations, we don't know how to react. And I think that's what we need to start with. Seek the right help. Find the right friends. Don't be judgmental because nobody's perfect, but allow for your word to be heard. Allow for your character to be built, and don't let nobody control your narrative. And don't be afraid to walk away from some BS.
No, that's right.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
know what I found I'm a certified belief therapist, which
Okay.
is basically a life coach counselor.
Right.
And I never take sides
Right.
because I have a testimony. I was married to my ex-husband. I was married to him twice.
Mm,
And I noticed that the first round was lack of communication.
Okay.
And then the second on his part. Then the second time it was lack of communication on my part.
Wow.
But when we both decided to make God the foundation and tell
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
these are our issues on
Yeah.
a separate set, on a separate part, not blaming and not pointing the finger,
No more.
to one another. It's his fault. You need to change him and you need to
Right.
change her because she can't hear me and she don't understand what I'm going through as a man. Okay, probably didn't. But when we
Right.
take, I noticed that when we take the focus off ourselves
Uh huh.
and we put them on ourselves and we begin to deal with our inner issues, then we're able to communicate. And I relate that to any couple that I'm able. So what you're saying is true. You have to go to God first,
Yeah.
and
Come
you
to God
have to
first
for yourself
for
and
yourself.
tell God this particular line of communication that I have is not open.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that's needed, but it needs to be voiced, it needs to be said. And so I try not to take sides when I'm counseling because I have to let them know, first of all, a certified belief therapist, that's letting you know where my foundation is in the first place. I'm just not a regular life coach to where I can coach anybody. There's a segment,
Mm.
particular people that
Wow.
I counsel, right? And that's the counsel that I choose to be in, and that's the area in which I choose to be in because that's where I know everything. That's where the experience is, and out of everything that I've experienced, I have come to tell everybody that man is my best friend.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
like my boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that only came with development, with self
Okay.
admitting, no denial. And
Wow.
once and then even for yourself, it seemed like it didn't come until after you received what you needed. You were actually to be able to be exposed. And then you was like, what's going on? So that turned the inner you to put a focus on you, and then boom, here comes your lady.
Yeah.
You know? And then she's able to cover you,
Yes.
love you.
Yes.
Y'all so funny together too. Oh Lord, I saw
Oh
y'all.
yeah. Yeah. I haven't seen
And
none
just
yet.
bring out the best in you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And
Yes.
when you don't have it, he said, y'all need to take off running. So if y'all have comments, go ahead to eefinetworks.com. Put your
Mm-hmm.
comments in before it get a little bit too late
Yeah.
because Terrence is going to be with us just a little bit longer so he can explain to you that you need money.
You need
How do
money.
you get it?
Yeah.
But how is our man going to get the hands on the bag? It's the
Yeah.
men that he's going to talk to
Yeah.
because women, we need to stop taking care of these men and let them sit on the couch and they're not able to be them full selves
Correct.
because they feel defeated.
Yeah. We're defeated. And I think that's the problem in our community. You know, it goes back to the Willie Lynch letter. I think it's time for us to now say, okay, it's 2023. We know the problem. But ask your husband or ask your boyfriend, ask your male friend, how can I help you? All right.
Wow.
And then men, ask the female, or ask your homeboy, or ask somebody you know that you look up to that you really trust. Can you help me? I
Wow.
need help.
Man.
Those simple words, I need help. And it took me till I was 42. I never asked for help. I never asked for help my whole life. I never put myself in a situation where I was vulnerable. But until I asked myself and asked my wife, my fiance, I'm sorry, I need help. Help me. Show me because I'm tired. I was always the fighter. I was always the leader. I was always the person that was trying to help everybody else. But when do you start helping yourself? And we just
Exactly.
passed, a month where we had a lot. It was Mental Health Awareness Month. So shout out to everybody, all of the counselors who deal with uh, with, with with patients and who have that passion for that. But
Ooh,
when it
right.
comes to, I believe, and what I realize what's happening in our community is if we understand how to make money, we understand how to travel, we understand how to love and communicate, we can change the dynamics of our community because we never had it. All right, we never had an opportunity where we was
Getting
equal. And so now, with 2023, with our women leading and our women are doing things, let's teach our brothers. And I'm not saying, you know what, ladies, it is what it is. All right, you ladies are the real. So you gotta hold us up sometimes. I'm not saying give us everything, but give us support. If you're in a
Mhm.
situation and you really love me and you think it can be beneficial for me, put me in that situation. And it's crazy because when I met Chance, I wasn't looking for a relationship. I was on my way out the country. I wasn't looking for a woman. I'm 42 years old. I had just signed me a major deal. I had a little money in my pocket.
Yeah.
Right. I was not trying to settle down, but when I sat down with her, and she'll tell you the story all the time. For the first year in our relationship, I didn't spend no money on her. I wanted to make sure that she was the one because that's how I was.
Are you serious,
Oh yes, I
Doctor?
was, man, listen, I was out
What?
there. Yeah,
Are
I
you
was.
serious?
Yeah, because that was it comes from past relationships though. If you've been in a relationship and somebody take your money and they don't like you, or you take them out on
Yeah.
a date and they just want that free meal. I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
nah. So I believe the first year of our relationship, she used to always say, "You don't spend no money on me." I said, "No, because I got it. Don't mean I got to spend it on you. What else
Oh,
can you bring to the table? When you wash that makeup off and you pull that wig off your head,
come
what
on.
else do you have?" And she showed that, and she supported me, and so that little bit like that made me stronger, and so and I think it's time. I think is if we continue to have talk shows like this and have open network like this and erase all of the negativity that we were taught,
Thank
that we were
you.
showed. It was by default. It's only we're 12% of this world. So once we come together and once we realize how to communicate and how we can share our wealth between each other, the sky is no limit. The sky has no limit because it's never been done before in our generation. And so, but like I say, you are doing a fabulous job. This show is needed. And thank
Thank
you for
you.
allowing for me to pull up to the table. But I'm here for
Yes.
you, sister.
Thank you so much. Okay, listen. Before we get ready to go, I want you to just take a minute to, if there was a message
Mm,
that you could give with everything that was said, and you could sum it up
okay.
and just elaborate on it, what message should we take from you? Because we're going to follow you. We're
Okay.
going to get all of the information that I know I am. But what message could
Mm,
you give the viewers regarding not only a successful relationship, but with their walk with Christ,
yes.
gaining money,
Yes.
or just being a success with the relationships? What's an overall message that you can put in your words
Mm,
that we can understand on both segments tonight, that we
okay.
could just kind of elaborate on and remember you by?
Wow. My message is to the viewers or to the world. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be always at your best. But if you learn how to love and love yourself and love others and treat people like you want to be treated, then you are already a winner. We don't need to allow for circumstances that you're not uncomfortable with put you in a situation where you're afraid to be uncomfortable.
Okay.
And so, uh, to sum it all up, I think it's time. I think it's time for us, black and brown individuals, to take charge and show the world that
Mm-hmm.
we can work together, that we can love, we can communicate, and at the end, let's just be leaders. Let's leave the legacies that our grandparents wanted us to live. If you can't sleep at night because you knowing something is wrong, do something about it.
Wow.
Research the resources. And it's 2023. Let's shock the world. Let's show them that we are here to stay.
That's right. Okay. We got about what, 6 months left in this year
6 months left. Make it your best.
to make it our best.
Make
You
it your
know,
best.
I think it was our era, and I really believe it's our era that I know they have the Generation X that's coming up,
Hmm.
and they're pretty much them some bold little suckers. I mean, on both sides of the fence, rather they're in church or rather they're on the other side.
Yeah.
Uh, but I have noticed that that particular generation is nonchalant. They are bold. And so it's almost like whatever segment that you put them in, whatever assignment you give them, they take off. They take
Correct.
off. And and with this particular generation, I think it's our era that can teach them, such as you are doing,
Yeah.
such as you are doing. I would say keep up the good work, because I'm noticing. I was talking to some friends. They was you know how people are getting back into the streets again, and they're doing the outreach for people to, they're doing prayer pull up prayers.
Pull up prayers. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they're doing pull up
I
prayers,
saw that.
and there are people that are on the streets just, delivering the word of God, and they're going to need, and you're going to need your ministerial license, or ain't
Yeah.
that what it's called, minister? Okay,
Yeah. So,
and you're going to need your license to go into different areas
yeah.
to minister to different men, to different boys, that particular generation anyway, to
Yeah.
show them what a great example, to show them that your foundation
Mm,
is the Lord Jesus the Christ,
mm,
is the Lord Jesus Christ. That's your foundation. And I believe that that's how you were able to build yourself.
correct.
Look, in every segment of your life. And if they could just learn that that's where it started basically for you, once you begin to realize that, you know what, I can't do nothing without Christ first. He's my foundation. And then,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? And so I definitely want to be able to get the men that I know to follow you.
Yes.
Let's move. You
Let's go.
understand? Let's help. Either you gonna help, what I always say, or hush.
Help or hush. And, and
Help or hush.
and I want to say, if we can agree on three things, can we agree that the crime against our women, children, and elderly shouldn't be accepted in our communities? Can we agree about that?
Yes, we can.
Can we agree that we need to get into these streets and teach our young people to stop shooting each other and killing each other?
Yes, we can.
And can we agree that we need to learn how to communicate and work together?
I hope that we can agree to do that one.
Yeah, yeah, communicate and work together. And so those are the three focuses you should be. I think we should be focusing on at the end of the last 6 months. If you have somebody that you're mad at or an enemy, pray for them. Peaceful. Once you find peace within yourself, your energy is different. And I tell people every day, Jesus had a temper. I don't talk about the temper side of him, but let's stop having temper tantrums. Let's now go back into our communities and let's really fix this problem because our grandparents are passing away. All right, it's our
Yep.
job now. It's our job. So when you're blaming somebody, blame yourself first. What can we
Blame
do
yourself.
better? But I really enjoyed your show, and definitely look forward to following you and finding out what you're doing. But keep these podcasts up. You're giving somebody right now some encouragement. You know,
Thank you.
things like this don't get the likes or shares, but it don't matter because it will. So you just keep focusing on your mission and putting and working on your craft and putting your voice out there because what you're doing now is going to be out here forever. So I want to
Thank
say
you.
thank you for allowing for me to even be blessed to be on your show.
Thank you, Deborah. Thank you so much. I received all of the love. I appreciate it. We definitely have a countdown on our network, and we
Okay.
won't be able to be we won't have a connection with Facebook and the Instagram entities
Okay.
anymore. So for I think it's going to be for like the next 60 days maybe,
Okay.
that we'll continue to have a connection with Facebook. They're going to be sad, but we will definitely have to implement our commercials. We're going to have to definitely, implement the television program
Oh yeah.
so that we can get our viewers to come in and subscribe like any other Roku TV or any other subscription that they'll have to pay for. And we won't be able to do that either way it go. But
Right.
I'm going to try to keep each episode on my website, and that's helperhush.com,
Mm.
and make sure that we continue to follow you wherever you are, because I know you're not here in Dallas, Texas,
No.
but basically I can't even tell people where you are because you're just moving around.
Yeah. Yeah. We're on
He's
tour.
on a mission. I mean,
Yeah.
you
I'm
are
on
on
tour.
a mission. But I definitely would continue to just kind of throw it out there when I'm talking to our men, sending messages to our men, because I really think that this is a positive movement. We have to do something. We've been sitting around long enough, just
Yeah.
laying dormant. Everybody has something to say, but they don't have. Especially when you ask for some type of contribution.
Wow.
They don't want to give into, you as old as we are, we still on Cash App trying to ask people for money. They still don't get a dollar. So hopefully, once they start seeing the progress, that everybody will be able to come together
Yeah.
and make a difference for just once. Let's just try it. What
That's
can
right.
we lose if we just try? And
Right.
so this to me, man, my heart's so big.
Yeah.
I want to appreciate you for your time. I want to appreciate you for all of your accomplishments
Thank you.
and just for just being a leading example.
Thank you.
A man of color, a black handsome man with a beautiful jewel on his side. Y'all are a trophy piece.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Y'all are a trophy piece. And I want you to tell her that she has to come back. I'm going to track her down.
Okay, now it should be.
I'm
Y'all
going to
keep
track
us
her
in our
down.
prayer. Keep us in y'all prayers. You know, prayer works. Thank you to our prayer warriors. You guys have been so supportive,
Yes.
and I want to say thank you for that as well. Keep praying for us.
Yes, indeed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. Hopefully, if you guys didn't get to see the full broadcast, this is Mr. LaTerrence Dunbar Bay.
Hey,
This is him. Oh, yes, give it up. Give it up.
oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you for coming. We hope to hear from you in the future. We hope that you're gonna come back. I know that you're gonna come back because I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah,
track you down too if I have to catch flight and come to
yeah,
one of
yeah,
your conferences and
yeah.
see you. But thank you so much. I love you from with the love of God. I do. You did very well. If
Thank you.
you got some viewers saying this was good, then yeah, they gonna follow you. So they
Oh yeah,
come in
appreciate
now.
you,
I'm not.
brothers. Yeah.
Yes, they are coming. So thank you again. You guys tune in next Tuesday. Y'all know how we do it here at Women Around the Table. This is the best close out for the month of May. Excuse me, is this tea taken? Yes, it is. Until then, y'all have a good night. This is Miss Kiki White here with Mr. LaTerrence Dunbar, and we're saying good night to all. Y'all have a good, terrific Tuesday. And take some of this information. Like, share, comment, come tune back in. Whatever it is that y'all need to do. We love you both. Thank you all for tuning in. Good night, y'all. Have a good one. Bye.
Kiki White and EFI Networks, thank you for watching the Women Around Table Talk. We hope that you have enjoyed. We would like to thank all of our special guests. Kiki White and EFI Networks look forward to you joining the Women Around the Table Talk every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Kiki White look forward to hearing from you. Please go to EFInetwork.com for comments. You may call 832-408-8404, 346-493-2630 or 832-391-0157. All copyrights belong to EFI Networks.